Hello everyone, I'm the Beard Knight, and today I'm actually going to show you how to make your own beard balm. I've got all the ingredients behind me. It's actually a fairly easy process. You just need some shea butter, some beeswax, jojoba oil, and your essential oils, whatever you want the scent to be. Some people like it just a plain scent because they like the scent of the shea butter and the beeswax. Me, I'm going to add a few essential oils to give it a different scent. But let me readjust the camera and we'll see exactly what I'll need. Okay, this is what we're going to use right now. First, we got our pot. We're going to use a double boiler method. So we have a pan with some water in it. It's got a metal container here. I'm going to use this as a makeshift double boiler. This, you do not want the water to touch the bottom of this. So you want the water to be below the bottom of your thing you're using for your double boiler. Because if you don't, it can actually boil this stuff and actually makes it, you don't want that to happen. Okay. So basically what you do is put your shea butter. It's better if you grade your beeswax, but I don't have, my grader is broken currently. This is the jojoba oil and vitamin E oil. I have, I believe, half an ounce of vitamin E oil, no, half an ounce of jojoba oil and a fourth of an ounce of vitamin E oil. So go ahead and add everything to this, and what you're going to do now is just let everything melt and come together. This will take a little bit of time because you're going to let your water boil. And you do not want this mixture to boil. If it does, it's going to lose a lot of the nutrients and things like that. So let's go ahead and wait for this to boil. Let me readjust the camera and we'll actually see if we can get this to work. I'm just using a bamboo skewer to actually try to keep everything mixed together. Makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to, because this stuff can get kind of sticky and some utensils are kind of hard to clean when you mix this. It's only been like 2 minutes. It's probably going to take a little bit longer than this. Now that the water is boiling, I've actually turned down the heat some because I don't want this mixture to boil. So I'm going to turn it down so that the water may actually stop boiling. That's in the bottom of the boiler. Because the reason why I'm doing this is because I did not grate up the beeswax, and this is going to be the last thing to melt. A few things you may want to prepare while you're doing this is to make sure you have some tins ready that you want to put the beard balm in. I have some old tins like from Altoids and Penguin Mints. Just make sure that they are clean and dry. I gotta swap the outside of these off because they were a little dusty. These things are actually very useful for a lot of variety of things. Also, it's a good idea to have your actual essential oils ready, because once this is done melting, you're going to add that into it and mix it together once you take it off of the heat, because you don't want to have your essential oils added to this hot mixture, because if you do, a lot of them will actually evaporate off. One more note is that this will be fairly hot, so you don't want to touch it with the bare hands. Have something like a oven mitt or something like that handy, so that once you're ready to pull it off the heat, that you don't burn yourself, because this is actually being on top of steaming water, and this is actually really hot. Okay, now we have everything melted down together, and I am going to, let's actually zoom out a little bit if I can. Nope, that's as far as I can see. Okay. Alright, we have everything melted together. I have my oven mitt on so that I don't burn myself. I am going to pick it off of the water, add my essential oils to it. Make sure I stir it, mix it together really well. This is the main reason why I have the bamboo skewer. Okay. Turn the water off. And let's move this out of the way. I'm right-handed, so I'm actually going to switch hands. Okay. So I'm actually going to put paper towel down under this, because I will most likely spill some of this. And this is not the easiest stuff to clean up because of the beeswax. You can see I set it down a little too long, so I'm not sure how much this would make. Alright, and about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, well, it's a little over 2 ounces, because I have 1 ounce of beeswax and 1 ounce of shea butter in it. As you can see, I tried not to fill it up over into this area here, because that's where the hinges are on the tins. I made that mistake with my mustache wax. The first time I made it, I filled it up, wasn't paying attention, and it ran out of those slots and onto my stove. But now all we do is wait for, generally tomorrow is when it will be actually solidified and we can use, and I will give a review on it tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll actually be back at the end of this video with the review, so you don't have to wait for another one. But hope you enjoyed it. Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm the Beard Knight, and we are looking at the Beard Balm that I had made just about 2 or 3 days ago, and going to give you my review of it and what I like and what I dislike. So I tried it a few times. I tried it initially about 3 hours after I made it, thinking, oh, it looks like it's cooled down enough now, which was a mistake, because it wasn't cool enough. The outside of it had solidified, but the interior of it had not. And that was not a very good representation of it. So I actually waited till the next day, tried it again, liked it a lot better, and then really didn't put enough on though. So I just kind of basically got about a little bit on top of my thumb and just went through the bottom of my beard and everything. And it really didn't do much. So I was kind of like, okay, this wasn't too good. And then I was like, wait a minute. I'm using not much more than I would put on my mustache when I had my mustache long. So I used a little, I used a little bit more. It actually worked out a lot better. So what I've done is I've actually used it for 2 days, and you can see it's not a great deal gone, but I've used a bit of it. And tell you my review of it so far. It's a very light hold. It's not really strong. It's not something that's going to pull your hair out as you're trying to distribute it through your beard, which is actually what I wanted. It's the reason why I made it with the same amount of beeswax and shea butter, because I wanted it to be a little bit lighter of a hose so it wouldn't just pull the hairs out. Because my mustache wax is a great deal thicker and the hold's a lot stronger, but to brush that through my beard would be torture. So this is a lot lighter. The one thing I would probably change the next time I make this, so I made enough to fill up these 2 tins, so it'll be a little while for it to make anymore. But I will probably use, I used an ounce of beeswax and an ounce of shea butter. Next time I'll probably use 3/4 of an ounce of shea butter, or 75%, or however you want to measure it. But yeah, I'm weighing by weight and not volume. So that's how I made this, is by weight. And the hold, it's actually pretty good. I have a lot of problems with my sideburns. I have natural curly hair, so actually keeping everything from just curling up really drastically is very difficult. So actually putting this on, brushing it through it helps a lot. Because what I was doing previously was only using beard oil. So I put the beard oil on and brush it through, and over time it straightened out some. As it's gotten longer, the weight of it's kind of helped it not curl as much. But this actually helps a lot, because when I put it in and brush it through, it doesn't have a tendency to try to curl back up. Right now it's just kind of got a little bit of a wave to it. So overall, I really like it. I'm glad I made it. I'll have the recipe in the description. One thing I did do wrong is I added 10 drops of sandalwood, 10 drops of cedar, and 5 drops of pine. These are essential oils. And you really can't smell it at all. I will probably double that to 20 drops of 20 drops of sandalwood, 20 drops of cedar, and 10 drops of pine, because the smell of the shea butter and the beeswax together is very, I won't say strong, but it's hard to get above that, to get over that smell. And really, I mean, the smell's not unpleasant. It's actually a good smell. I like the smell of beeswax. I like the smell of shea butter. So it's nothing that's like I put on my beard and I'm like, oh, this stuff stinks. But I was wanting something a little bit more like an outdoorsy smell, and you really can't smell anything like that with you have to put a lot more of the essential oils in it to overpower that initial scent of those 2 ingredients. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Making your own. I bought most of the stuff off Amazon. It's not expensive. I think for the amount I made here, I'd have probably paid, let's see, these are over, I made probably 2.5 ounces worth of Beard Balm. I'm trying to think how much that would probably been. I mean, some places charge $20 for half an ounce or an ounce. So probably 40, we'll say $40 on the cheap side. Well, we'll say $40. And so this here for $40, I didn't even come close. I mean, even if you count the price of the Altoids that were in these, like $1.50 each, before to get the tins. Let's see, probably I'd say probably spent $30 on everything. That's including the essential oils, the vitamin E oil. That would probably, because you can't buy in small, you buy in a larger jar. But I mean, I'll be able to make a lot more Beard Balm with the ingredients I have. So you're saving a lot of money doing it yourself. Also, as a gift, this is an awesome gift. I would probably recommend not using an Altoids tin for the gift though. You can buy like the specialty tin, the round tins, things like that, fairly cheaply. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm glad I did it, and I will be doing it again. Hope you try it yourself, and Till next time.